What's going on, guys? Jurassic here. Today we're back to Once Human. Alright, so I farmed up a couple towns that we were able to fully build everything we wanted to. I wanted to test out and see how useful it is to automatically gather the material around us. Now we got 16 tungsten ingots. And 46 here. That will be plenty for us to build our automatic miner. Now, one thing that we are able to do also is replace one of our solar panels. So the nice thing about our base having a limited amount of power generation supplies is we physically had to get rid of one of our solar panels in order to make this work, which gave us a little bit of electrical components, which is very needed for a lot of these projects. So let's go and build up a second hydraulic generator. Both of these guys support 25. Which the solar panels only do 15, so they actually do quite a bit more. And one thing, if you guys are curious, if you go and pick up your auto mining thing, it'll tell you exactly which ores it's going to actually be getting. So for us, for example, in this area, we're going to be getting aluminum, tungsten, and tin ore. But I will say, do make sure you actually do turn it on. So since we already powered this, I'm just going to attach these two together. That should be plenty of power to have this guy on. All right, so once you get all of your power situations set, all you have to do is click on start. So basically, it's going to send a little drone out. It's going to manage to get tin ore is 1 per basically half a minute. Aluminum ore, half a minute, and tungsten ore, half per minute. So everything's about the exact same. If we sit here and watch for a second, we should see a drone come fly in and gather it. Alright, so it looks like we are going to be doing the rotten saddle today. This should be the last episode that we need to actually get our base fully caught up. Technically, the next boss, once you be level 38 anyways, we're only 33 right now, so this is also helping us get leveled up, which I feel like they're sort of pushing you to do at this point. Now, I'm not entirely sure if we should do the next boss fight before this beta ends or not, because it does end in 11 days, so we're getting pretty close to the end, but I want to try to explore as much as we can, so I might do a bunch of videos sort of like this, where it shows off some of the stuff. Then we do a bunch of farming, killing a bunch of people, and just keep repeating it like that. Oh, this is a cool looking museum. So I really want to get like the vehicles and stuff built. Apparently the pickup truck you can actually like build on top of, so that'll be cool to actually have like turrets and stuff that we can drive around with. And I am kind of curious, like, would you be able to hook up like power to the truck and have it so it supplies it whenever it's back in the area? Or if it doesn't work like that. So that could be a way to get around like the only 5 power supplies, so you potentially could have more. But obviously that's mainly so you just don't build a bunch of solar panels, since they're the cheapest thing to build. Now you really want to look for like these little rescue bots because they give a ton of circuits. That's a good find. We also have that crazy crossbow that we found last time too. Acid is needed to make aluminum and tungsten, so maybe even building like an acid farm in one of our videos soon. That'll be coming in handy too. Oh, and the Mystic Crate. Nice. So weird. From the outside, it looks like we're supposed to be connected, but I don't see like a tunnel that way. Well, usually the hardest thing to find in these places is going to be the mystical grate, so everything should be out in the open, which is a good sign for us. Now, the oil being pumped automatically for us, unfortunately, it seems like most of the oil spawns are going to be right next to a bunch of the oil pipes for the refineries, so you can't really get around having a little bit of ugliness next to your base. But obviously, practicality-wise, is going to be getting us infinite amount of gasoline for us, so that'll be super useful. And I'm really curious to see how much metal we actually farm up by the time we finish this one town. We're going to head back to the base. We should have enough of our ingots going on. That's all we'll need. Alright, so we got another big giant elite monster, which technically you do have to beat those to get inside of, like... You have to beat those to fully complete the areas, but I'm not necessarily too worried about completing the area. I'm mainly looking for circuits. So we fought a big elite one last time. Used up a lot of bullets, and it didn't really give us too much of a reward. Can't tell if that's a gear crate. I think that is down there in the tent. Having a infinite way to slowly go down is so nice in the game. I really like the fact that you can just grab the bird whatever you need to. Yeah, so the trucks in the game, you can actually build like this, and then you can put turrets and a solar panel up top that I've seen a couple people use. You got like this big, like, 18-wheeler truck that you can get too, I think. So there's like some crazy vehicle design that we should be able to get going eventually. Which is why I'm trying to automate like the, you know, gasoline metal supplies. Unfortunately, I don't think there's a way to automatically generate this circuit, so... Alright, so that one trip gave us 18. Which we have 25 now, so we're good. We have enough to build an oil pump. So let's go find a place with oil, and we'll move our base. Now, before we do that, Oh, should be fine. As long as it's inside the territory, it'll just be put back, and then we'll just have to rebuild our hydro generators here. I really like the view here, but unfortunately, we're just going to have to move to find a place with oil. Now, the beta is closing on the 26th, so we don't really have too much time to get some of the stuff done inside the game, which is why I'm sort of pushing off of the boss fight and more of doing this exploration sort of kind of videos. Just how we get the most amount of experience while we still have it. Alright, so in the time that we found our new spot, we got 17 tungsten ore, 21 aluminum ore, and 28 tin. Salt, I'm going to assume will be for cooking. Our wood's still going to be full. And I will show you exactly what we were looking for. So this was the best area that I could find to have an oil node and a little bit of a view. Our house might need to be lifted up just a little bit on our porch, but you know what? I think it's okay for now. Main thing though is we wanted to get our oil pumping. So that'd be the water pump. It's going to need 10 watts, so we might need a little bit more power supplies in order for this to actually work at the current area. We should be able to put you down and connect pipe or attach wire. Alright, so the wire, let's just snap you into there. And we'll see how much power it's got. Oh, it's got enough, sweet! Alright, let's go back inside of there. So we're going to do connect pipe. All right, so it's got power and it says it's going to take 4 minutes, so we'll come back in 4 minutes to see if it's done it. Now, if anyone's curious location-wise, we are going to be right here. Directly across from a pretty cool looking ruins. We got plenty of water around here to actually feed our base power supplies. We do have a couple nodes. And if we come back upstairs and just check on our auto miner, it should have the exact same building restrictions. Aluminum, tungsten, and tin. Now, I know we have things called water buckets, but that's not exactly what we need to store oil. So I'm just wondering, is this guy going to get full whenever it gets 4 stacks of oil? Or if you're able to connect a water bucket to it and have it supply oil inside of it. Alright, so we're going to end off today's video here. I'm going to have to do some research on why our water pump isn't getting the crude oil. This is an oil node spot. Maybe we physically have to move next to one of the oil rigs. I'm going to have to move around and do a bunch of testing. But that's going to do it for today, guys. If you guys enjoyed, make sure you like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one.